It had been picking up speed, but now the James Whitey Bulger trial is slowing down. Today in court, both the defense and the prosecution spent hours laboring over the details of Bulger's FBI file. WGBH's Adam Reilly has more.
Today, Whitey Bulger's defense team slammed the credibility of Department of Justice agent James Marra, the government's star witness on Bulger's huge FBI file. Defense attorney Hank Brennan claims Marra took that file at face value and didn't even check to see if Bulger's alleged informant reports were true. After an aggressive redirect from prosecutor Fred Wyshak, Brennan was hammering Marra again when court wrapped for the day and showing no signs of stopping.
And Adam Reilly is here. As we said, this trial really has slowed down. This guy's going to be on the stand 5 days.
He'll start his 5th day. That's right. That's right. And today we went over actually the 1 o'clock end time that Judge Casper had set. That hadn't happened.
She was hoping to wrap it up.
Well, she was hoping to, I think, get through at least his testimony, but we ended up going to maybe, 1:10, 1:12, and yeah, he's going to be back on the stand tomorrow.
This is all about proving that Whitey Bulger was an FBI informant. What does it matter? Why is that so even relevant?
I'm actually struggling with this question a little bit. I mean, we've known for a little while that for Bulger, this case is more about legacy than it is about legality. He's conceded a lot of the charges against him: murder, drug dealing, extortion, other things. But one of the big things he wants to show is that he wasn't a rat or a snitch, that he wasn't an informant for the government, but he was a strategist or a consigliere, that he was running the government, not the other way around. So I get why he's doing it, even though there's no sort of legal end game for him. I don't understand why the government is as fixated as they seem to be on establishing that, no, in fact, he really was an informant. I don't think, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't think that they need to establish that to, hit him nail him on these dozens of racketeering charges.
Well, let's assume they're going to bring it full circle. But
they might. I also wonder if it's personal, though. If
they made the point that all these notations, documentations were not in the hand or the word of Whitey Bulger, but John Connolly and some of the other people. And they could say, well, that's not accurate. And so they were trying to say you didn't check its accuracy. That came directly from John Connolly, the former
They were hitting
FBI
this 700-plus page file in a couple different ways. They were saying, on the one hand, that it didn't contain a lot of the features that are standard practice in a file like this. Didn't have, I believe, an official photo of Bulger, didn't have his fingerprints, didn't have annual reports that are periodically produced to indicate what an informant is or isn't giving the FBI. There was back and forth between the defense and the prosecution. The defense was casting these as really worrisome omissions. The prosecution was arguing that they're no big deal. But yeah, as you said, Hank Brennan was also saying...
Which one is he again?
Hank Brennan is one of Bulger's attorneys, along with J.W. Carney. And Brennan, I think, personally, I think has been the most effective attorney on either side I've seen in this trial. He was giving Marra, James Marra from the Department of Justice, a really hard time about his apparent incuriousness about a lot of these informant reports. So here's a report that John Connolly wrote that claims that Bulger gave information about such and such. Did you do anything to double check to see if that information was valid? Did you talk to any of the people named in it? Did you make any effort to see if Connolly might have made this up? And time and again, Marra had to say, no, I didn't do that. It was outside the scope of my investigation.
So we're all anxious to hear John Morris. Do you think we'll get to him this week?
I thought we were going to get to him today. The defense is going so slowly. It seemed like Judge Casper was getting a little frustrated. I think she is going to urge them to move things along. So maybe we'll finally get him tomorrow. I hope so.
All right. Okay, Adam Reilly, thanks for that update. All right, well, stay tuned to WGBH for continuing coverage of the Bulger trial here on Greater Boston on 89.7 WGBH Radio and at WGBHnews.org. And that is it for Greater Boston. Tomorrow night, the sister of slain MIT police officer Sean Collier joins us. She'd like to see a National First Responders Day. Plus, what's your favorite ad campaign? That's what will ask two stars of Boston's advertising world, Micho Spring and Michael Sheen. That's all tomorrow. I'm Emily Rooney. Thanks for watching.